Hello, my name is Carol May Whittick, spiritual life coach. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Higher Energetic Resonance Inspirations. This week I'll continue to focus on spirituality and talk deeper about some of the questions you may have on any stage of your spiritual path. From Erich Fromm, let your mind start with a journey through a strange new world. Leave all thoughts of the world you knew before. Let your soul take you where you long to be. Close your eyes. Let your spirit start to soar and you'll live as you've never lived before. If you haven't joined already, or if you're listening for the first time, I want to make you aware that with these Higher Energetic Resonance Inspiration podcasts, there is an accompanying email that's sent out on the Monday after the release of each episode. If you'd like to receive that email, which contains additional meditation, journaling, inspirational notes, links to content that could take you deeper, and also exclusives, please use the link in the show notes below and you can join the Her Inspirations mailing list, and also you'll receive the Embody Higher Energetic Resonance course, which will run for 6 days. Spirituality, questioning your path. There isn't anything except your own life that can be used as ground for your spiritual practice. Spiritual practice is your life, 24 hours a day. From Pema Chodron. This week I thought it would be interesting to just delve in deeper to some of the questions that we all have. These are brought from my own experience as we embark on a spiritual journey and a spiritual awakening and deepen our understanding of spirituality within our lives. So I thought I'd just pick 6 questions and then look at how those questions can be answered, and answer them in things that I've learned, and also how I've seen other people navigate these questions and these issues even, and move on and move forward and gain from them. So the first question might be, why? Why am I drawn to the path of spirituality? Why am I experiencing this spiritual awakening? My response to that will be that there's a part of you that wants more for you, that sees the way that you're living, sees your life as it is right now, and is putting in front of you the opportunity to have even more. It's the soul, it's that higher soul, that higher self part of you that is just nudging you towards something more for yourself. It's like, if you're enjoying this now, imagine how much better it can be. Or even if you're not enjoying it now, maybe there's a different way of looking at things. Maybe there's an extra layer. Maybe there are deeper questions. Maybe there's more of you that you can't see. And for all of us, there is more of us that we cannot see. And the tiptoeing into the journey of spirituality, being nudged towards our own awakening, is the beginning steps into a magical, lifelong, never-ending journey. And then what is the relationship between spirituality and personal growth? A spiritual awakening will put everything on the table. As both of these quotes have said before, you're looking at your own life and you're looking at how your life can be richer. You start to assess all of your encounters, all of your experiences, and then not just see them from an earthly ground level as you may, but also kind of witness them from a higher perspective. If there is a higher self that is observing you as you move through the world, as you move through your life, if you start to take that vantage point, it means that you get a better idea of why things happen and what you can gain from them. Often not having to wait years and years down the line for that hindsight, but maybe even gaining a higher perspective, that hindsight perspective in the midst of challenges, or being able to be in a challenge and find that, and almost allow yourself to experience it with grace. There may still be pain, there may still be disappointment, but finding a way of seeing that it's all for your good, it's all for your benefit, it's all for your own enrichment. Getting to experience yourself and know yourself from that higher perspective, just as a witness to your own life, imbues you with compassion for yourself. Like a couple of episodes ago, we were talking about self-compassion. When you're able to pull back and witness your life and see the errors that you made and the bumps and the flaws that you may have, and all of the things that you think about are negative and wanting about yourself. When you pull back from that higher perspective, when you see yourself from your higher self, you're almost looking at yourself as your own guide, as your own parent, and you're like, there she goes again, there you are doing that again. When are you going to learn? Or guiding yourself through it, and knowing that it's all for you, knowing that it's all for your own growth. Often it will allow you to move through pain, through difficulty in a way that is enjoyable, may not be the right word, but there's a sense of understanding of why things happen. Also, when you connect to yourself, also when you connect to your higher self, you find that you're rooted in something real, in something solid, in something unique that is always feeding you the best information, that always wants the best for you. And it's not about you then looking externally for any kind of confirmation, validation, advice, direction, because you know that you can go to your higher self. This is how I see it with your own personal growth. You become more of the person that you are. You become more confident in yourself. It means that you're able to stand strong in the face of external challenge. Here's another question. So how can we overcome the obstacles or the doubts that we encounter along the way? My response to that would be initially remove the idea that they will ever go away. We're always going to have questions. We're always going to face obstacles. We're always going to have doubts. However, again, from that higher perspective, rooted in our higher self, we start to recognize why we would doubt certain situations. Because as we're going through our journey, as we're awakening, if you imagine, we're peeling away layers of ourselves that we've put over our core, put over the core of who we truly are for our entire lifetime. So now we're allowing one by one each layer to come off, and then there'll be another thing that comes up. But at this point, seeing that we have these obstacles, or seeing that we have these doubts and fears, we then can more quickly recognize why they were put there in the first place, as opposed to getting stuck in the doubts and fears. We can be, okay, this is why this keeps coming up for me, and understand this is why I put this in place for myself. And be able to have the conversation with yourself. Is this serving me? How is this helping me to my own expansion, to my own growth? Am I ready to drop this, to move forward, to be more of me? And another question, and this will undoubtedly come up time and time again, is how do I deal with skepticism or resistance from others? And to add to this, I would love to pop in this quote from Rumi. When setting out on a journey, do not seek advice from someone who never left home. Everyone's got an opinion, as well as everything else that they have. Your journey is your journey, and you seeing things the way that you see things is going to be based on all of the experiences that you've had before, and also the vision that you have for yourself as you move forward. So sometimes it's not necessarily the best of ideas to have conversations about where you are, especially in the beginning days. Always try to, as it says here, speak to somebody who's done it, speak to somebody who has left home, who has been on their journey, but also recognize and keep your own discernment and build, take their information and sit with it, meditate with it. Does it feel right to you? Does it work for you? Try it on for size. And if it doesn't, allow it to not be true or real for you. This is you building your own trust and your own strength and belief in yourself and your own connection with your intuition, with your higher self. Seek advice, listen to people, ask the right people, but then always come back to yourself, and always, after a while, you'll see that your own guidance will actually be the best for you. Also, it's beautiful to have conversations and to see where people are and how they've moved through different parts. As we grow, as we get stronger and more rooted in ourselves, we'll find that we're going to be more able to have differing conversations, opinions where we differ with other people, and we never actually get to a point where everyone 100% agrees with each other, but we're respectful of each other's point of view. And we allow everybody to have their point of view because we ourselves want to have our own point of view. How can I stay patient and persistent on my spiritual journey? First of all, know that this is going to be an unfolding over your lifetime, over your existence. So for as long as you're alive, you're going to be unfolding and learning and expanding, and there's going to be a new part of yourself that you discover. So keep that in mind and know that it's never done. It always just continues. Stay strong, because have in mind a vision of where you want to go 5 years from now, 20 years from now, or ask yourself the question, how much better can it get? How much better can I be? How much more of myself can I see? How much more of this world can I experience? Staying in those questions, and equally using those questions when things are not so great. How much better can it be? How much more can I see? What am I learning here? And that just keeps you going, and it keeps you excited, and it keeps you inspired and on the path. It's very difficult, I believe, once you've been awakened to an aspect of yourself and a truer and a richer way of living, that you would just put it down and step back and never go into it again. You may pause, you may stay at a certain place for a while, for years, and then there'll come a point where you want more, you want to expand a little bit because things are getting a little bit familiar and stale. And that's okay. You move at your pace, it's your life. And how to integrate your spiritual beliefs into daily life. How can you develop a spiritual practice? In my coaching, I always am guiding my clients to develop their own spiritual philosophy. And I love this quote from Nat Hahn. Spiritual practice is not just sitting in meditation. Practice is looking, thinking, touching, eating, drinking, talking. Every act, every breath, and every step can be practice and can help you and can help us to become more of ourselves. Your spiritual practice can be the way that you experience every single day, the richness that you see in the simplest of things, when you're listening to music, when you're just sitting, breathing, when you're thinking, when you're contemplating your own life and what you can do and who you can be and what you want to leave in this world and who you want to be. Spiritual practice is for you to create. If you want to get up and journal and meditate and run, that's all good for you. I like to always recommend journaling because it just helps getting things out of our swirling minds and seeing them on the page, and also having something to reflect back on when we want to see where we've grown, especially if we feel that we've plateaued for any moment in time. But you make it your own. You make it what you want it to be. You don't need the crystals, the cards, the incense, any of those things if you don't feel they're necessary. Spirituality doesn't require apparatus. The only apparatus is your heart. And how do you know you're doing well? Because you just keep going, because you just keep growing, and you're more excited about life. You feel this sense of joy and wonder and gratitude, even in the craziness. I think about my own experience and looking at the world. I've never seen it as bonkers as it is before, and maybe I wasn't paying enough attention, but I think I was. And yet in the midst of it all, and with the kind of the growing division and the craziness, I just see such an amazing opportunity for us, and I'm so excited by that for myself and for anybody who chooses to see the world that way, that things are breaking down for us to step in and be more of ourselves. Like, wow, don't you want to be part of that? And a closing quote from Bashar: "Do not rely on the outer world as your measuring stick for your own spiritual growth. Rely on your response to the outer world to determine how much you have grown." Thank you so much for joining me with that episode. I am enjoying these so much. I'm getting such great feedback on this as well. So do let me know how you're getting on with your journey. Like, you can send me a message, like go to my website, which is carolmaywhittick.com, carolmaywhittick.com. I'm on Facebook, Carol May Whittick, Casmic, Cazmick, on Instagram, so you can message me there. Also, if you want to go deeper with these as well and kind of add these lessons and these contemplations in the podcast to your own journey and your own practice, please do sign up for the Her Inspirations mailing list. And on the Monday following the release of each episode on the Friday, there will be a brand new email in your inbox which will have additional points for you to meditate, to journal, to contemplate as you're doing your self-work. There'll be links to additional resources that might assist you, and when I've got a few exclusives, I'll be throwing those in there for you as well. And also, if you're ready to take the next step in your transformation, if you want support, accountability, radical honesty, contact me to find out about my personalized one-to-one spiritual life coaching program. So have an amazing week. Thanks for being with me. Talk to you next time. Take care. Bye.